I just wanted to say hello to you. My name is Annie Yagelski, and my helper here is Sue Slamar, and she works at the Computer Help Desk, and I'm the technology trainer for the Downers Grove Library. After this class, I'm going to be sending you a booklet, and it'll be in PDF form. If you do want a bound booklet, just email me and I can give you one of those, and you can pick it up downstairs. But I've made a little changes, so I wanted to give you the most up-to-date one. So that will be available if you want to know more about OneDrive, but I will be sending you it via email. So, okay. So let's go through the objectives of the class. And there's not that many. If I could find them, I'm all screwed up here. Okay, we're going to understand what OneDrive is and does. We're going to create and manage a OneDrive account, and we're going to upload and share files. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Why would you want OneDrive? Well, I actually have Office 365, but OneDrive is the one that we're going to be looking at today is free. And you get 5 gigabytes of storage. And if you look at the screen that's up here, you're going to see, if I go to the bottom, it'll tell me how much storage I have. So I have like 5 files and I have a lot of storage. So 5 gigabytes doesn't seem like a lot, but it sort of is, especially if you're not a heavy user. The other thing that it has, that Google has too, is you can go and change versions. So one of the great things about OneDrive is you can share it with people. So you're working on an Excel spreadsheet maybe, and you want to share it with everybody, and they, even if they don't have a OneDrive account, they can get on if you share a link or you share an email, and you can just have them look at it, or you can let them edit it. So you can all do that, and then if you say, you know, I don't like what they did, you could go back a version, which you actually, I think, sort of you can't do on the desktop version, but you could do it on this, which is great. Sharing is wonderful, but the wonderful thing that OneDrive has is called a personal vault. And personal vaults are where you put documents that you don't want to lose, and also that you maybe don't want to share with somebody, and they're very secure. And you can put 3 documents with a free account. If you have a paid account, you can put as many as you want. The personal vault you can only get into, and you have to have a password to get into your OneDrive. And then when you get into your personal vault, which I'm going to show you how to do, you have to have your phone or your email to get in. In most cases, I would use your phone. They give you a code. And then you can do anything you want with your document. If you leave it up for 20 minutes, it closes, and then you have to do it all again. So it is a nice feature. Google does not have that, so that's nice. So this is a free version we're going to look at. The paid version, if you're an individual, it's about $65 a year, and you get a terabyte of storage, which is a very big amount of storage. In this case, you only get 5 gig, not that much, but maybe that's all you need. And you can get this from anything. You can get it from your phone, you can get it from a tablet, you can get it from your computer, and it all syncs up. So that's one thing that you might want to think of doing. But the thing that I use it for, well, a lot of people I know buy the paid account because it's such a good deal for the storage. If you're a family, you get 5 terabytes of storage. You have to pay a little bit more, but they put their photos up there, and that's all they do. Well, I'm a heavy user of Microsoft. One thing that you cannot do with the OneDrive account is you can't download any of the Office software to your computer. You have to do everything online. which is okay in most cases. For me, it wouldn't be okay because I'm a heavy graphics user. If a lot of graphics take up a lot of bandwidth. So if you are using graphics a lot, you probably don't want to use this as your main computer. You probably want to get a OneDrive account and you want to pay for it. But if not, if you just do documents once in a while, this is great. And you do get 5 gigabytes. And I can't go down the screen. I wish I could. I'm just gonna close this because I don't want to see it. Move it down. Let's see if I can go down the screen. I don't know if you could see at the bottom of my screen, which I can't see. It'll tell me how much I've used, and I've got like.
No, it doesn't show at the bottom.
Yeah, I've got hardly anything that I've used, and I have.
Try making the box smaller. But, you know,
Let's see if I'll make it smaller and see if you could. I don't think it'll still do it. Nah, it won't do it. But you can see how much you're using when you're in there. It'll see. And what screen are you seeing of mine?
the recent all.
Okay, that's what I want you on.
Mhm.
Why is this? Okay, no, I can't see it, but that's okay. You'll always see at the very bottom of the screen how much storage you have left. If you're running out of storage, one thing you could do is you can download to a flash drive or your hard drive, and then if you ever need to, you can upload it again, so. And we are gonna show you how to upload, and I might show you how to download. Any questions? Okay, great. So in the packet I'm going to be sending you is information about how to get a OneDrive account. I'm not going to go through it. I already made a OneDrive account. This is the OneDrive account I made for training. I have my own OneDrive account and I use it very, very often. So one thing, the benefits of using OneDrive, as I said before about the personal vault, file synchronization. If I'm working on something and I save it to my OneDrive account on my desktop and I could work on it. And when I get back onto the internet, they both sync. So if I saved it to OneDrive, my files sync. This is also a way to back up your files. As I said before about version history, if you don't like what somebody did after you shared something, you can go back into version history. File access, you could get it across devices. So if I want to see this on my phone, all I have to do is download the OneDrive app to my phone, and I can look at these files on my phone. So those are the benefits, and it's free right now. So some of the things they have limited, and we'll look at that. Okay. So now we're gonna look at the desktop, and this is, get rid of this. Okay, good. This is your desktop when you first come into OneDrive, after you log in and get an account. Right here, it's the 9 little dots, like you see in Google. When you click on it, it's gonna show you all the apps that are available to you. One app I do like and I use a lot is Copilot, and that is Microsoft's AI, and it's very good, especially if you have questions about a Microsoft product. So I use this fairly often. I also use the Gemini, which is Google's product. We're not going to get into Outlook. OneDrive is what we're looking at now. We're not going to get into Teams. You have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote. To do, I haven't used. We're not going to get into that. Family safety, all this calendar, I don't get into that. Designer, we might look at a little later. It basically is Canva, but it's Microsoft's Canva. And you do get as a free member, and I don't even think I get it free. You get like, they give you coins that you could use, so if you want to design something, you have to use so many coins, otherwise you have to buy something, so they have that. And now Microsoft owns Skype, so you're gonna look at that. So we're not gonna look at that, but they own Skype now, so. Okay, so the other thing you have is OneDrive. This always gets you back to the home. This is a search bar. You can search for people, you can search for anything you want, but it's gonna search your OneDrive account. It's not gonna search online, but it's gonna search your
We have
OneDrive.
a chat. See,
Yes.
we have a person that said they're hearing a booming sound, and can that be corrected, or is it in her speaker? Or their speaker?
Is anyone else hearing a booming sound?
No, not me.
I think it's you.
Me?
Yeah, Jeannie.
It's gotta be you.
Your equipment.
This is being taped, so you can watch it after it's done. So if you are having a booming sound, you can watch it after it's done. So the other thing you have right here, and this changed a little, okay, they've changed this since yesterday. This plus sign now, it used to be called new file. I think it was called new file, but now they've got a plus sign, add new, that's what it's called. Well, they changed this. So now when you click on it, you can add a file, you can upload a file folder, you can upload a file, and then you can also do a Word document or an Excel workbook, PowerPoint, OneNote, which we'll look at a little, Excel survey. They've changed that too. Yesterday it was Excel survey, today it's Microsoft Forms. It's a lot like the Google Forms that you probably have used, and it's called Microsoft Forms now. And a text document. Text documents are great because even a Mac can open a text document. So if you're working on something and you know that the person that you're going to be working on, this only has a Mac, you might want to be able to open up a text document and you can work on it together. So you can collaborate on it together and both of you can open it. Text document has little or no formatting, and that's why a Mac can read it. So, okay, any questions? Okay, this has changed a little. So right here, if you hover over it, you can see what this does. That tells me that this is my navigation pane. If I click here, if I ever want to go home, which this right here is my home, my desktop, I can come here. If I want to go to my files, now this is different from it was this morning, but my files is the place where you would look for your files and also the place where you are going to find templates. Then you have a photo file. And this is different too. This is for shared, and shared is where any files that were shared with you will, and if I click on it, you can see nobody shared anything with me. But if if somebody shared a file with me, it would come up. And when I click here, these are all the files that I have deleted, which you can do. You can delete files. You can also download files. So if you decide, you know, I have to have more space, you can download them to your computer or a flash drive, and then you could delete them and you could always get them back. And then right here is People Finder. So if you're working on something with somebody and you want to find it, it'll show you all the files that the files that have been shared with you, but you can also search for them by people. So if you say, you know, I don't know when I did this file, but I know I worked with Sue on it, you would put Sue's names up there and then they would show you all the files that you worked with Sue. But as you can see, I don't have that many files. So I'm going to go back. So that's your desktop basically. And I don't know if you're gonna use it a lot, but the one that I use a lot is called My Files. And the reason I use My Files a lot is because from here I can delete files and then I can move them around and I can do anything else. So right at the top of My Files, you have name, modified, file size, sharing. You have this little, if you hover over it, this little circle, and if you click on it, it will select all your files. And at the very top, there should be a little toolbar that doesn't come up, but I think there's a reason they probably don't want me to do anything with it. So I'm just going to share one file. I'm just going to click on one file. So I'm going to go to class notes. When I go up to class notes and I click on this little circle, it tells me all the things I can do. I can share it, I can delete it, I can move it, I can copy it, I can download it. And that means put it on my computer, put it on something else. I can rename it, I can embed it, and I can look at version history. So if I click on version history, I can always go back. So this is the first is what I'm on now, the modified date. If I wanted to go back, I can click on these three little dots and it would let me restore the first file I had. And you might want to know how to do that just because if you're working on something, the main thing that you want probably to do with a OneDrive account is to share it with people. And you have Office files you can upload and then you could share them with others and they can work on them with you or they could just read them. And if you let them work on it, you might not like what they did. So you can always go back to a previous version. And that's a nice thing to have. And Google has that too. And I think that's why they did it. So when I click off it, that toolbar goes away. The other thing is that you're going to look at is when you make a file. If you look at these files here, they have like a little lopsided crown. That means that I just made this file. So if you are looking for something you just made, look for the lopsided crown and you can find, okay, I just put this up. This budget one I just made. I just put it up and you click on it and we'll open up in your viewer. I'm going to go back to my OneDrive. Any questions? Okay. I'm looking for this. Okay, the thing that we're going to go now is what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to upload a file. So to upload a file, you're going to click on the plus sign and I'm going to click on, I can click on folder and folder, that means I'll make a folder and I'll do that in a few minutes. Or I can upload a file that I already have on my computer. So I'm going to click on file upload and now it just gives me here, this is your Windows Explorer. If you're on a Mac, you're going to go to the Finder and you're going to have to find the file that you're looking at. I'm just going to go to this one. Go to this one. I'm going to click on open. And at the bottom, it says the file is uploaded to My Files. So this is where it's uploaded. Gotta find it. I think I did it right now. This is class notes. I think this is the one I just did. No, less than a minute. Right here, it has a little crown on it. I can click on it. I can see it. There it is. If I wanted to go back, I would just click on the browser. This is browser based. Then what can I do with this? I can put it into a folder if I need to. I can click on these three dots And this gives me all the things I can do with it. I can delete it, I can share it, I can manage access. That means I can share with people, but say, you know, how I want them to use it, the details, everything. I think right now I'm gonna move it to, and I'm gonna click on move to, and it's gonna bring this up, and you can actually drag too, but I'm not a big fan of dragging because this woman who used to work at the library, and like every 2 days I'd have to go help her because she would drag her files into a file folder and she couldn't find them. So then we'd have to sit there and I'd say, why don't you just move them? And she wouldn't do it. She'd keep dragging. So every 2 days I'd have to go up there and find them for her. So I'm not a big fan of dragging and dropping. So where do I want it to be moved? And I'm going to put it in documents. And I'm going to click move here. And it's going to put it in documents. And there it is. And if I go into documents and look for it, that's where it's going to be. So right there, class notes. So that's how it's very easy to upload a file. That's how you do it. Any questions? Remember, uploading takes storage. So if you have a really huge file, think about uploading it or not, or you might have to buy Office 365 if you are a heavy user. Okay, so I did that. Okay. We uploaded a file. So now I've uploaded something. Maybe I want to download something. So I'm going to click on this file. And this is a Word doc, and I might want to download it. And it's probably easier to download it from here. Click on download. And I'm doing this from my files, so think about that. Instead of being in. Okay, it's telling me my internet connection is unstable, but let's see if it'll do it anyway. Yeah. Right here, it downloaded them. And so all I have to do is click on here because it goes up in your browser. And if I'm using Chrome. No, I'm not. I am using the Edge. And the reason I'm using the Edge is because OneDrive is a Microsoft product. When I teach a Google class, I use Chrome. So since this is a Microsoft product, I'm using the Edge. So I downloaded it and it should appear here and it hasn't. Maybe there's nothing in the file. It hasn't opened it. So it should open it. Sorry. Share. Share. Can you see my Word file now?
Yes, Word is open.
Okay. For some reason, it didn't open it, but in most cases, when you download something and it's downloaded to your browser and you click on it, it will open it. And for some reason, it did not open it. But I'm gonna go back to share. I'm gonna share this one. So it should open it and it will download it to your computer and then you can save it and do whatever you want with it. But for some reason it didn't do it, but it should. So I don't know what to say, but it's telling me that my internet's not stable, so that could be why. But I've had no problem doing it before in my paid version, so hopefully it works the same in my other version. Okay, so that's how you upload and download Files, you can still do the same thing with the folder, works the same way. The documents, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, they work very similarly to the desktop, but you can't do a few things with them. You can't run macros. You can't have add-ins, like if you have there's apps that work with that you could download to your desktop. Well, they don't work. You can't track changes or comments. You also cannot do macros, can't do, oh, with Word, you can't do mail merges. So if you're a person who uses mail merge a lot, this is not gonna work for you. You're gonna have to do it on your desktop because you can't do mail merges. So that's limited, but other than that, everything works basically the same. If I click on Word document, you're gonna see you still have the tabs. You click here and name the document. And then right here, notes are already set up too. Weekly plan is already set up for you. You could just click on it and it could start that for you. The other thing I really like about Word on the OneDrive is the editor. And that I think is just wonderful. It is like Grammarly. So if you have a lot of text and you wanted it to help you with rewrite something, it will do that for you. So it's wonderful. So that's like about one Word on OneDrive. And I use that a lot. I will write something on my computer and then I will upload it and I will have the editor rewrite things for me. I also do that with Google Gemini and also Copilot, which is Microsoft. I write something, I copy the text, and then I tell them to rewrite it. In this case, all I do is click on editor and they go through the whole thing. They'll find misspellings, they'll find grammar usage problems. They'll also find ways that I can make it clearer. So this is a wonderful, wonderful tool. And it's available. It's not available on the desktop. They do have spelling and grammar on the desktop, but they have this. And they also have Designer, which is very, very nice. So they can design something for you and it's nice. So even if you don't want a OneDrive account, I would just go get one just so I can see what it does. And then if I don't want to use it, I don't have to use it. So it's very, very nice. Let's see if we have something that I can. I'm going to go back to my files. And let's go to this resume thing. And I'm going to show you also how to download templates. So, or use templates. So I've got this resume that I downloaded. I don't know who this person is, and I'm going to click on editor and it's going to go through the whole thing and it's going to tell me, it's going to give me a score. It's going to give me spelling errors, grammar. It's okay. I can set formality and you can see some of these things they have grayed out. That means they want me to pay for them, but that's a nice feature. Let's see if Designer is free. Yeah. Okay. They're not going to let it be available after March 2005, they're not gonna have it, so. But I like this. And I guess they're not gonna have it anymore, but it's a way for you to make your documents have nice colors, nice fonts, everything goes together, so they're not gonna have it, so let's not even talk about that. But editor is very nice, and even though it's limited for you, at least you can see that you've got a score of 81%, so that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my file, and I'm gonna click on the plus sign
I
again.
think we have a question, Annie.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I have OneDrive at work. If I make a new Excel spreadsheet outside of OneDrive, will it automatically be saved to OneDrive, in OneDrive?
No, you have to, if you do it outside of OneDrive, basically on your desktop, if you've ever logged into OneDrive, you'll have a OneDrive account in your, you got to set it up. But I have, and this isn't my computer, but right here, OneDrive, I have a OneDrive account. And basically what you're gonna have to do is either you're gonna have to upload it to OneDrive, or when you make it, you save it to OneDrive. And a lot of the things that I do on my home computer, I automatically have it saved to OneDrive. I don't put it on my computer at home. I save it to OneDrive so I can get it from anywhere. And that's what you want to do. You want to save it to OneDrive. So let's say, I don't know if you can see this, so let me click on here. The screen, okay. This right here, I have OneDrive open. This right here is your Windows Explorer. You can see OneDrive here. So if I wanted to save something from OneDrive, and maybe I'm gonna go to Documents, OneDrive's still here, it's open. Go to Pictures. I can just drag it over if I want to. I'm telling you not to do that, but I'm gonna do it now. I can just drag it over to OneDrive. And then when I go into my OneDrive account, you can see it's there. What happens is I have OneDrive open. This isn't set up on my computer, but if I have OneDrive and it's set up on my computer, when I work on something, I'll save it to OneDrive. When my computer gets back online, it will sync to OneDrive and it will save it on OneDrive. So that's what you do at home. You would, right now, I just put it in this OneDrive account and then it wanted me to sync it. So it wanted me to, which I'm not gonna do, but it wanted me to log into OneDrive, which it will do on your computer. So you have OneDrive open, it's gonna show up on your Windows Explorer. And then you're gonna work on it, you're gonna save it to OneDrive, you're gonna have that pop-up screen and you're gonna have to log into OneDrive. And then when you log into OneDrive, it will save it. And then it will, basically, if you work on it on your computer at home and you're not on the internet, and then you turn the internet on, since it's on the OneDrive, it syncs to it. So that's one of the reasons why you do want OneDrive, either a paid account or a free account, is because when you work on things on your computer, you can have it synced. So then if you have the OneDrive app on your phone or your tablet, you can get this from anywhere. And that's one of the benefits of having OneDrive. So you can have something saved to OneDrive on your computer, and you might want to think about doing that. A lot of people, that's all they save to because it's a backup system for your files. You don't really have to back things up anymore. Microsoft does a great job of doing that for you. So if you want to save to your OneDrive account, you don't have to worry about if your computer ever breaks. You've already backed it up. You already had everything saved up to OneDrive. Does that
Another
answer your
question.
question? Uh-huh.
Can you delete files from OneDrive that have been shared with you. I have old files from previous job, and my only option when I click the eclipses or ellipses is to share or open. No option to delete.
Okay. I will have to get back with you on that, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to open up Copilot and I'm going to ask this question. But I have to say, sometimes Copilot and sometimes the AI is wrong. So I am going to ask this question to them and see what they say. I have a feeling that you can, and I'm going to find out how you can, but I'm going to share my Copilot with you. Okay, so the question is, in OneDrive, can I delete files that were shared with me? Yes, you can. Okay, if you delete
Oh,
a
but
file,
that's shared with you. She asked if she shared. She was the first person to share.
if you don't want to delete the file but want to remove it from your share list, you can stop the share. So you can stop sharing it and then you can delete it. And we are going to get into sharing. So I'm going to show you how that you can change permissions. So you can
Okay, now
stop
she
sharing,
changed that
but I
to
will look at that for you and I'll do.
created by others that was shared with her.
So it was shared with her.
Yes,
So she wants to delete. So she wants to delete things that were shared with her.
correct.
Okay. Yes, it says you can. I'll find out how you can. I'm going to be sending you a book and it'll be in the book. So I'll write that down so I don't forget. Delete files shared with you. Yes, according to Copilot, you can. So I will find out how to do that and it will be in the book that I share with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I gotta close this. Any other questions? Okay, go back to my OneDrive. Okay, so you looked at Word. Gonna open up an Excel workbook just to see what that looks like. I'm not gonna do a lot with it. Here's a budget. Nah, that's not. What did I do? Okay. This is another template I downloaded in Invoice, and we're gonna look at templates in a minute. Why do you want to use templates? And I tell people this all the time, use templates because it'll get you looking at the way things are set up correctly, but also right here, somebody put a formula in. Well, actually they didn't. Here. So somebody did a formula. So why would I want to reinvent the wheel when I have something that looks really nice, looks professional? All I have to do is change this. I'll change this to change the address. And then I can have this look the way I want it to look. And then right here, it shows me how to work an invoice. So, why would I want not to use templates? It would help me learn the software and it also saves me time and looks more professional than if I did this myself. But the thing about Excel, is the formulas. And if you know something works, why reinvent the wheel? Sometimes you do need to reinvent the wheel, and you can look at this and you can say, oh, that's how they did it. Because it's not always intuitive. Hey, I wouldn't know how to do that, so. That's why I always tell people to use templates. The other thing in Excel that you cannot do if you use Excel on OneDrive is you can't use VBA macros. You can't do advanced charting. You can't do a Power Query. You can't do Power Pivots. So there's a lot that you can't do, but if you need something, in most cases, like you do in your budget, do you need all that? Probably not. So you can do a spreadsheet and it's going to be fine. Uploading spreadsheets, I've never had any problem uploading a spreadsheet. Some of the things may not work, like they said, macros won't work, but if you don't have macros, I've had no trouble uploading a spreadsheet to OneDrive. So I'm going to go back. PowerPoint. Click on that. This is a presentation that I downloaded from a template. And you can show from here. So I can create and then I can show from here, and you can see, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. So I can give a PowerPoint presentation from my OneDrive account. And it works exactly the same as if it was on my desktop. To get out of it, you click escape. And I can change things too. I downloaded this template, but if I wanted to change it, I could click on here and I could go to design and I could change the design if I wanted to. You can, the only thing for PowerPoint is you can't do advanced animation and transitions. You really can't customize the layout. If you upload something though, it should be fine. I've never had any problems. You cannot record audio or video. So if you are using this to make something for a wake or something like that, you can't record the audio video, but you can play it. So if you needed to, you would, maybe you're doing something for a wake, you could create it on your desktop and then just upload it and it should work, but you can't record to it. So the recording should be embedded in there and it should work. There shouldn't be a problem, but always test it out before. Okay. Okay. So the other two things that you can do is, well, actually three things, but the one that I use a lot, and I use this on my desktop, is OneNote notebook. And let's see if I have one. I think I already had one that I made. Let's see it. I put it somewhere. Ah, here it is. Okay, so you create a notebook and I gave it notebook paper so it looked like a notebook, but I use this a lot and I use it on my desktop a lot. But there are some nice features that basically it's a notebook. You can take notes, which I do, And you can add images to the notebook. You can also add video to the notebook. You can share it with people, and you can collaborate on the notebook together. It's not, some of it, I keep a list of movies I want to see. And it's probably not the greatest place for me to do that because I can't sort it. And that's one thing I don't like about it, that I can't sort. But that's probably, somebody's probably going to complain about it and they'll start doing that. But the great thing about this, and I found this out today, is the accessibility features. Where did I see that? You can have this notebook can talk to you, and it can do it in a different language. And how did I do that?
Would it be under the view tab, maybe?
I don't know. It was real cool. This is where you it's called Immersive Reader. And this is pretty new. So I'm going to click on Immersive Reader. And it actually,
The ADDIE model is a
Well,
widely
talk to
used
me.
framework in instructional design and training development.
and when I
It
click
stands
the
for
reading
Analyze,
preferences,
Design, Develop, Implement, and
I
Evaluate.
can change the way I
Here's a
want it
brief
to look.
overview of each phase.
And I can stop this, which I'm going to do, but I'm going to. So I can choose a language. So I'm going to choose French. So I can have this read this to me in French. It's going to change it. I'll do French with. And by word, or I could do the whole document, but I think I just let it word in reading practice. So if I needed it to read for accuracy, I could do that, but I'm just going to leave it. So I'm going to click on, I think I had to save it, but it didn't do this today. So let's see if it works. So by word. That doesn't. Okay, so I thought this was cool. Let's see if it does it.
Phase. Analyze, identify the learning needs, goals, and objectives. Understand the learners and the learning environment. Design, plan the instructional approach, including learning objectives, content structure, and instructional strategies. Develop, create the learning materials, such as multimedia content, assessments, and activities. Implement, deliver the training program to the learners. Evaluate, assess the effectiveness of the training program and make necessary improvements. The ADDIE model provides a structured and systematic.
Well, it did it for me today. It actually talked to me and it changed everything into French. So it
What
does
if you do
work.
it by document instead of just by word?
Yes. Okay, you're right. So it did it for me today. So let's see if it does it now.
Le modèle ADDIE est un cadre largement utilisé dans la conception pédagogique et le développement de la formation. Il s'agit d'analyser, de concevoir, de développer,
When you're
de mettre
doing
en œuvre et d'évaluer. Voici un bref aperçu de chaque phase. Analyser, identifier les besoins, les buts et les objectifs d'apprentissage. Comprendre les apprenants et l'environnement d'apprentissage.
So I thought this was really cool. And I do use this a lot, I have to say. And I use it a lot just because I want to keep my hand in. I try to think of ways I can use this feature, this OneNote feature, just because I want to be able to. So when I'm working on a class or anything like that, I put all my notes together and I do that. But this is a nice feature that I did not know it had. So it's very, very nice. And I'm going to leave it French. I'm just going to leave it. I could change it. So when you create a notebook, you can add sections to it. You can add anything to it. And that's a nice feature. And that's included in it. So that's something I didn't know about. And I can see myself using that. Especially now, we have to be very attentive about people who have different learning needs than us. Some people are audio learners, some are visual. So if you're an audio learner, this would be perfect for you because you could take the notes that you got from class and you can have them read to you. So, any questions? Okay, I know we're getting toward the end, so I wanted to show you how to locate templates.
I do have a question.
Okay.
If there's time, can you show how to password protect a PDF file? And then if you upload an Excel spreadsheet to OneDrive, do you recommend not deleting it from your desktop? Those two separate questions.
If you have a paid OneDrive account, you probably could delete it from your desktop, especially if you don't want anybody to get into it. But if you don't have a paid OneDrive account, I wouldn't do it because you have a limited amount of space. But if you're paying for the OneDrive account, if you're paying for Microsoft 365, that includes a OneDrive account, I would, you can, a lot of people just have Office 365, all their things, they use it to back up their files. You might want it on your desktop because you're going to be using it, but if you save it, like in the beginning we talked about, if you save it to your OneDrive account, you can get it from your desktop and then it would sync to your OneDrive account, but it's saved on your OneDrive account. And there is a folder on your desktop you can see, so it's still accessible on your desktop. So it's up to you. If you have it in two places, I don't know if that's the greatest thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to make it on your desktop, log into OneDrive, save it to your OneDrive account, and then when things are changed, it will go automatically to your OneDrive account. So it's basically, you can access it from your desktop, but it's really on the OneDrive. So I don't think that you need to save it. No. And what's the other question?
If you have time, if you can show how to password protect a PDF file.
Okay. And I will try to do that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to get to templates, and then I'm going to show you how to access your personal vault. Your personal vault is where you could save files that need to be secure and you don't want anybody else to see. But, did I take my... I'm not going to get into my personal vault because I forgot to bring my phone. So one thing that you have to do when you make a personal vault, you have to have an email address, and you also have, in order to get onto OneDrive, you have to have an email address. And you can have as many OneDrive accounts as you want. You just have to have a different email address. So you also, it would be a good idea to add a cell phone number. And if for some reason you get rid of your cell phone number, and you should do this with Google too, you need to immediately, before you turn off your cell phone, change your account settings and change your cell phone, because if you don't have access to the cell phone anymore, you won't be able to get into your drive, and you won't be able to get into OneDrive or your Google Drive. So always think about that. It's a great idea, though, to add for security, to add a cell phone number. So what I'm going to do now is... is I'm going to show you how to get to templates, and then I'm going to show you how to get to your private vault. Get to the templates, you have to click the little 9 dots, and then you have to actually open up an app to get to your templates. So let's say I wanted a Word template. I'm going to go to my Word app, and it's going to show me all the templates that are available. I have my blank template, and I have others. Just because you have a free account, there are premium templates that you can't access with your free account. So if you say, you know, I want to get another template that I need, then you're going to have to pay. So that's how you get to templates. Also, how do I get to my private vault? To get to my private vault, you have to, I'm going to go back to here. You have to go to my files, get to the private vault. And the private vault is right here. And you have to verify your identity. And you just click here, and they're going to send you an email to your email, or they may send it to your phone. So I'm going to see if I'm on my email. Not, I think I can get in. And there's a code that you have to put in. And I have to share this. Actually, I have to go right here.
But that's not your name, is it? Pondepair?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's not my real name, but I made this up.
okay.
Okay, so. Well, I'm not going to get into it now, but what you do is you put in your code and it opens up your vault. And you can put 3 files in your vault. If you want to put more than 3 files, you can zip files together, but you only have 3 files with the free account. And you put the code in, it opens up your vault for 20 minutes. Unless you're working with something. If you're actively working with the file, they're not going to close your account. But if you leave your account open for 20 minutes, it closes and you have to go through the whole thing again. And all it is a place for you to put secure files. So nobody can get into this account. You cannot share these files in this account. So it's a way for you to keep maybe your medical history, and other things too. So financial information, health records, identity, if you wanted to scan your passport and put it in there, legal documents, passwords and codes. You can put your passwords and codes here. You can't do if you have a Google Doc, they ask that you don't do that. But if you wanted to keep your passwords and codes safe, and you wanted to make sure that nobody got them, you could put them in the secure personal vault. And actually, I do that. And if I need them for some reason, it's a 2-step process. I have to get an email, or I have to get it on my phone. I have to put the code in, and then I can get the document out. So if you have a Google account and you have passwords on there, take them off. You're not supposed to put your passwords up there, but this one you can. So you can put up to 3 files in here. If you have a paid account, it's unlimited. So I'm gonna just get out of that. It just looks like files. So, but it's your personal vault, and it's a great way for you to save things. Okay. So, sharing. This is the other thing that's great about this is you can share things with people. I'm going to open up the resume. And right up here, you can share. And they also, when you share with somebody and they don't have a OneDrive account, it doesn't matter. They can get on to your OneDrive account and you can collaborate together. So when you click on share, you can either share or copy a link. And when I click on share, I'm going to add a name. If I'm using this, if I had a group, I'm not using this. I don't have Outlook, but if I'm just going to put in an email address. And then right here, I'm going to click on the down arrow and I can edit it or I can view it. So if I just want the person to be able to view it, I could put view, or if I said, yeah, this person's going to be able to edit with me, I can edit. Then I can also add a little message. Here it is. And I can add more people. So if I needed to add more people, I could put in semicolons between the email addresses. But I'm going to click on send. Oh, that's not true. So it should go, but it didn't. It says it's not valid, but who knows what I'm, hooked up to now. So, but it is a valid address. I sent it to myself before. I got it. It came. Okay, so you can send to people. The other thing that you want to do is copy a link. So copying a link is a way for you. Okay, what's this say? Wants to see text messages, copy to the clipboard, allow. Okay. Okay, copy a link. Anybody with this link can edit. You don't want that. So you're going to click on settings. So if you just copied the link and you send it in the email to people, that means that everybody can edit, and maybe you want that. But in a lot of cases, you don't. So you're going to click on settings, and it says share with anyone who doesn't require sign in. That's fine. So these people don't have to sign in. You could just give it to an existing access, or you could just give it to people you choose, which you would do in the first thing. But here, what can they do? Can they edit or they can view? So in most cases, I'm going to say view. You can also set an expiration date. So you have this party invitation, and if they haven't viewed it in a month, you can set the expiration date. And here is where you set the password. So if you don't want somebody to get into something, even though it's a PDF and you want to share it, you're going to click and set a password so that they can only get it with a password. So in a way, I'm telling you what you need to do. So if you did it, you uploaded a PDF, you wanted to share this file with somebody, what you would do is you would sit on copy a link, you would go to settings, and then you would say, hey, I'm going to set a password. Okay. It's only going to let you if you have a premium account. So if you don't have a premium account, you can't do it. The other thing you can't do, and this little thing, this plus thing with a little golden thing, means that you can't set an expiration date, but you can have them only view it. So if you do want them to have to get in with a password, you have to pay for it. So you have to have an Office 365 account. And we are going to give later in the year an Office 365 class. So you can see what happens there if you're paying for it. But with a free account, you cannot set a password. Did the person who asked that, do you want a free account, or do you already have Office 365? About the PDF?
Do you have an
I do
answer?
have Office 365.
Okay, so you should be able to set a password then. You do it through sharing.
Okay. 'Cause I
Okay,
tried last year. I was able to do it with Excel, but for some reason I couldn't do it, or I wasn't doing it right with the PDF, with the PDF file.
okay. No, you have to go through copy link. And then you have to go to settings. And then that's where you can set the password. You can't just do it through sharing, which doesn't make sense to me. You'd think you could, but you can't. So you got to go to copy link and then you got to change the settings there. And I'll put this in, make sure it's in the handout that I give you. It's not a handout really, it's a 28-page piece of paper, but it's probably going to be even longer. So the last thing that I want to talk about is deleting files. So if you don't want something anymore and like, let's say I don't want this invoice anymore. You have to be in My Files. You can't be in the desktop, which is home. Because you have to be able to find the little circle. So I'm going to click on My Files. It looks like a file folder I'm going to have to change the screen print because it doesn't look like that in the screen print. As of this morning, it changed. So I'm going to, I'll get rid of the budget. I'm going to click in budget. And then what comes up right here is my toolbar. And I can open it, I can share it, I can delete it. So when I click on delete, are you sure? And I'm going to say, yes, I'm sure. And then it deletes it for me. And since I have the file open, I'm just going to delete it anyway. I probably have it open up here. I don't care. There it is. I'll delete it anyway. Okay, so it's deleted. So if I want to find it, all I have to do is go to the side and look at the trash. And this is your recycle bin. And if you wanted to empty the recycle bin, if I wanted to put it back, I would click here and I could restore it, which I don't want to do, or I could just empty my recycle bin. When I empty my recycle bin, it's gone. I can't get it back. So it's saved in your recycle bin till you empty it, just like your email or anything like that. So you can get it back if you go to your recycle bin and restore it. I don't think there's, like in Google, and I'll have to look into this. In Google Drive, if you use the Google Workplace, if you trash something in 30 days, it's gone. I don't think the same thing is for OneDrive. I think you can store things in trash. I wouldn't do that, but I think you can. So, but I will look into that and see if if that's true. Does anyone have anything else that they wanted me to go through that I didn't? OneDrive is very, very nice. As you can see, there's certain things that you can't do, but you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your tablet, you can get it on your computer. And even though 5 GB doesn't seem like a lot, it may be enough for you. I'm a heavy user, so I couldn't live with that, but other people could, and it's fairly easy to use. It's probably easier than the desktop version because you can't do as much, which is fine, but maybe you don't need to do as much. So give yourself a break. Try it out. If you like it, you can always upgrade. If you ever have any questions, feel free to contact either me or Sue, and we can help you out. We also have something called Book an Expert. So if you had something that you were working on and you wanted to sit for an hour with any of our our staff at the library, you can sit for an hour, we can work on something with you. It's called Book an Expert. You can get it either by calling the library. I would have a project though. I wouldn't just say, I want to know everything about OneDrive, no. But I would have a project and we can help you with it. And that's one thing we have. We also have some online training that I'm going to send you a link to. Linda, we're one of the few libraries that have Linda, and which is wonderful, wonderful training, especially for computers. And we also have something called a universal class, and we have that's a little longer, but that's great training too. And there's an instructor there. So, but if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We will be sending you stuff probably tomorrow. So it's after 2, so I want to leave you go
After
get the questions. After 3. Oh,
We started at 2.
what?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gosh, it goes fast. Oh. Okay, thank you for coming.